Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two 40% alcohol blended Scotch whiskies, both from Bacardi Limited, the owners of John Dewar and Sons Distilleries. These Scotch whiskies are produced under a royal warrant. It says, by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, Scotch whiskey distillers. So these are certified as official whiskeys of the royal household of the Queen of Scotland, England, the Channel Islands, Ascension Island, Gibraltar, Canada, Belize, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat Island, and other realms around the world. Now, we have Dewar's White Label, introduced in 1899. Now, they claim the recipe has never changed. I think what they mean is the ingredients have never changed, because if you look at old advertisements from years ago, it was 86.6 proof, and now it's 80 proof. So something changed. Craig Swinson says, good morning. Good morning to you, Craig. Now, this is Dewar's age 15 years, the Monarch, introduced in 1998. And obviously age 15 years. I forgot to write the nickname. Age 15 years. Oh, yeah, I did write it. Never mind. No, I put more information in than I realized. Okay, so here's Dawn arriving. And you would hope, right? Like, yeah, the 15-year age, the Monarch, is going to beat the base model Dewar's White Label, which you can get a bottle of that for what, $18, $20, and the age. You know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. This is the 18-year age. I knew something was wrong. I finished the 15-year age. Oh boy, let's fix it. Sorry about that mistake. I just caught myself. And let me go back to the website. Don't you know? All right, we'll fix this very quickly. In 2003, yeah, the vintage. Okay. Dewar's 18 years, the vintage, introduced in 2003, 19 years ago. Okay, now I'm going to try to put the 18-year age against everybody, but I might run out because I was only able to get these little bottles. But I got a great deal because I paid much less per ounce than you would have to pay if you bought this full size, if you bought the full size bottle. All right, so if you took all of these and multiplied it times 15, I ended up only paying $44.99, $44.95, something like that. Okay, but if you went and bought that same bottle at Total Wine and More, which is always the cheapest, you're going to pay $67, $68. That's what it is, 68 bucks. So I got a $68 bottle for 45. Hey, can't complain. I mean, if we look at it per unit price, per ounce or milliliter, okay? This one here, the full size, I bought it because it was cheaper per ounce to get the handle, okay? It cost me, it was like $30, $31. I think it was $31 for the handle. They call it a handle because you got to pick it up with a handle. It's so heavy. You don't want it slipping out your hand and breaking. All right. And it's got a built-in pour. That's why I poured too much just now. I poured a little bit too much. Okay. It's a pretty good product. Dewar's white label. It's nice. I did a duo review with a guy up the street one day. It was cold. It was in January. It was cold sitting out there. And he said, oh, yeah, I always drink Dewar's white label. And then my son, he said, my son introduced me to Dewar's 12-year. He said, that's so much better. Now that's all I drink. And the 12-year will run you about $48 a bottle, $48, $49. And when I tell you Tuesday what I paid for it, you won't believe it. I said, what about other Scotch whiskeys like Valentine? Oh, he said, that's garbage. I don't know what he's talking about because I think Valentine's is better than Dewar's myself, but that's how I feel about it. He's from Honduras, this guy I'm talking about. This guy, Robert. And he's very opinionated. Now you say, what does that got to do with Honduras? Are you implying that Hondurans are very opinionated? Oh, no, he's from Nicaragua. Sorry. I think, yeah, Nicaragua. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying he's very opinionated and he's from Nicaragua. I know people that are from Louisiana are very opinionated. Okay, good morning, sir. I feel the economic wolf is at the door, says JBD. Might be inside the house already. Okay. Some people are so worried about the economy, they've fallen off their bicycles and everything. It's just crazy, people. It's crazy. What do you expect? When the government's incompetent, they do incompetent things. Okay, the white label is lighter. All right, so we can see it's a lighter gold, and the 18-year age is much darker. Do they add coloring to it? I don't know. After 18 years in the wood, would it get darker like this? Probably. Remember, when they put the whiskey in the barrel, it's clear. Whiskey is clear. Well, before they age it, it's not even called whiskey. It's just distillate. It's a grain spirit. You understand? Or as they call it, moonshine and that. But once it ages, then it becomes whiskey. Okay. But the Ardbeg 10-year-old is very pale. All right, it's aged 10 years, and then look how light it is. And it'll tell you on the bottle, not colored, no color added, not chill filtered. So there's a big argument back and forth about chill filtering, non-chill filtering. They got partisans on both sides claiming that chill filtering is better. No, it's not, and all of that. I haven't noticed much difference myself, one versus the other. George Dickel Company, they make Tennessee whiskey and some bourbon. Well, Tennessee whiskey is a type of bourbon, but they make some stuff now called bourbon from that. And they claim that they trumpet it. You know, we invented chill filtering, and we were the pioneers of it. And George Dickel, he's the pioneer of chill filtering and all of this. And their whiskey tastes like Flintstone vitamins. From my experience, I have the George Dickel Cascade Hollow. I have the George Dickel 12 and the George Dickel Rye. And I don't know why they taste like Flintstone vitamins, but they're really weird tasting, you know. All right, I'm closing my eyes because the shade on these two is a little, it's pretty different. So if I glance and see a darker one, I'm going to know it's the Dewar's 18. So you would hope a $68 bottle is going to be better than an $18 bottle. So we're talking about a $50 difference. Is it really going to be $50 better? At this point, I don't even know if it's going to be better because I haven't done the challenge yet. So, I mean, I assume it will be, but I haven't done the challenge yet. All right, here we go. Aroma here is grain. And a lot of corn. And yeah, I screwed up because I ate white corn grits this morning. The white hominy ones. And they're in a bag, a paper bag. Yeah, they come in a paper bag. You say craft style grits? Yeah. Someone gave them to me. 2 bags. The only problem with eating grits, and then I put some hogshead cheese in it and got it all mixed in there. The only problem, and of course I put black pepper and some salt and hot sauce on it. But the only problem with grits, it makes everything taste like corn after you eat it. Especially products that are using corn as their base. And these blended whiskeys use corn as their base. Corn whiskey. But the flavor is mainly coming from the single malt whiskeys that they blend in, like from Aberfeldy. I think they own that distillery there. This smells like the same thing, but it's got more aroma. It's bolder, and you can get a honey note. Mild, more character. So on aroma, I'm thinking that the one in my left hand is the white label, and the one in my right hand is the vintage, the 18-year-old. But let's taste just to be on the safe side. Well, this one has like wine notes, like sherry wine. I'm not kidding. I gotta look the website. I gotta look up the website again and see if they're aging it in sherry barrels. You know, sherry has that kind of twangy grape taste, twangy like. Oh, you know what? Sherry has like a raisin flavor, like a blend of golden and purple raisins. I don't know why. You say, well, are you daft? Are you dumb? Do you have a brain? What do you think grapes are made out of? I mean, grapes are made out of raisins, right? I mean, the opposite. What are raisins made out of? Grapes. What is wine made out of? Grapes. And what is sherry made out of? Grapes. It's a type of wine. So, okay, ding dong. We get it. Now, this one has more of a wood flavor. It's like wood, strong wood. But on the other hand, it also has a lot of ethanol in the flavor, like grain, alcohol, corn whiskey. Is Scotch required to use corn whiskey as their base if it's a blended Scotch? No, I've never read any regulation like that. It just says grain, alcohol, grain whiskey. You say, well, rice is a grain. Could you use rice? Oats, barley, if it's just unmalted grain. You could use any of that. But why would they do that? Because they're trying to make it as inexpensive as possible. And what is the most inexpensive? Government subsidized. And we do not, at this channel, support that. This channel does not support government subsidies for any grain, I might add. We oppose it, in fact, but it's corn. And then they're going to promote using grain alcohol in your automobile with gasoline, 10% ethanol, and it's costing $10 to make $1 worth of ethanol, gasoline. You say, well, that's so inefficient. Why would they do that? Because they're juiced in with the farmers. And when they talk about the farmers, you think it's like American Gothic painting, Ma and Pa and the farmer and his daughter and all these regular folks down home in Iowa or Kansas or Oklahoma. No, no, no. They're in cahoots with big agricultural companies. And you know who they are. And they're in cahoots with them. And so it's like a bribe, in other words, a collaboration. And they're using your money, your hard-earned money, to pay billionaire companies to produce corn alcohol for automobiles. Now, like James P. Madonna with Progressive Discussions, he's going to blame the big corporations, the evil corporations. They're the ones at fault. They are at fault, but he's leaving out half the equation. It's like doing algebra, but you only do half the equation, only one side of the equal sign. No, you got to do the other side. The other side of the equation is big gov. It's not just big agra, it's big gov, and they're in cahoots. So it's been going on since the 1930s, at least, with the big gov champion from the Empire State, makes sense, New York, one of the big rich families, pretending that they're going to go after the big rich companies. And there's like a big bait and switch, you see, and people fell for it. Oh, he's going to help the regular old guy. He's going to help the little man with his big government Tennessee Valley Authority projects. Yeah, right. But it's hard to convince people. They believe it, My mama grew up in the 1930s. That man helped everybody. Yeah, okay, right. Sure. But anyway, back to this. You say, how's that related to what you're doing? Well, it's related because we're talking about corn, and these products use corn base, you see? So it's sort of a spurious relationship, but it's a relationship nonetheless. And they do the same thing in merry old Scotland and merry old England. All the subsidies, and they're in cahoots, with the big guys, and they try to act like, they're against the big guys, But anyway, in like Spanky would say, anyhow, tastes good. Tastes like grain that's been converted into alcohol at a 40% level. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, and this one tastes very similar. So I'm not tasting $50. You might, some people watching, oh, you're crazy. Easily the 18-year is better. Easily better. I paid my $68 and it's great. Okay. You can convince yourself that it's better because you don't want to pay extra, and then you'd be stuck with something that's no better. Now, my friend David claims that the Buchanan's, you just soon buy the 12-year because the 13, the Master and the 18-year is no better. He bought the 12. He still got some. He bought the Master. I gave him the 18-year as a gift. And he's saying, where's the benefit? I'm not seeing it. He might have a good argument. What's okay? Let's look at the comments. I'll smudge my glasses. I'm about to get off anyway. What's interesting is an unfilled. What does this say? Oh, I had something in the way. Unfiltered IPA doesn't take nearly as much time as a lager, but they charge a lot more money. Right. Maybe that's a trick also. Maybe that's a scam because they're selling unfiltered beers that are unfinished. They don't put them in a finishing tank. And they're like, I call them dirty beers that are cloudy. They're like 7.5, 8 cents. So people, you know, okay, great. Well, you can get a lot of stuff that's 8% alcohol, okay? And they're not that good. You ever notice most of these unfiltered IPAs and juicy New England style, whatever kind, they're really not that good. They don't taste that good most of the time. And they charge an exorbitant amount, $18 a 4-pack. And they're like, oh, it's so dank. Well, A, it's really usually not that dank. B, it doesn't taste that good. You know, and you could get a filtered lager. Okay, I'll use an extreme example, Natty Daddy. You say, oh, that's bum juice. It's not really bum juice. It's a high gravity version of natural light. Same ingredients, just doubled. If you gave an honest assessment and sat down and put one against the other and tried to wash away your bias, you would start noticing that the Natty Daddy, the Natural Father, is a much better product than most of these flim flam things that they charge an $18 a 4-pack for. That's the way I feel about it. And like Craig saying, it takes a lot longer and a lot more steps to make the Natural Father. You say, oh, but they use adjuncts, corn and rice. I drink pure beers like imperial stouts with cocoa nibs and coconut and vanilla and artificial flavored coffee. I drink pure beers. Oh, good. Eisenhower tried to warn us about the growing power of the military-industrial complex. Yes, he did in January 1961. And some people listened. Most people didn't know what he was talking about. All right, IPAs are doing their best to keep the gouty arthritis epidemic going. Yeah. I see these that that drink these kind of things all day long, and they got distended bellies, and they're like grossly overweight. And they're like, oh, I drank my IPA. I'm like, I don't know if that's really healthy, but, you know, I see them in there, post the photos at their beer hangouts. All right. Well said, Ron. Thank you. Now I got to go watch the news. I'm saying this is the white label. It is. I got it right. But $50, I'm going to let you decide, but I'm saying no way. No way it's $50 better. Sorry, folks. Thanks for watching this taste challenge.